All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about marriage. Besides your career and what you choose to do for work in your life, who you choose to marry is going to be the most important decision you're ever going to make. And unfortunately, most people don't give this the due attention or due thought that it needs and deserves, similarly to a career. Most people spend more time picking out clothes than they do thinking about what they're going to do for a career for the rest of their life. So, back to marriage. I met a divorce attorney once that told me one of the most important things you can do is date for at least 2 years before you get married. I think that's pretty good advice. It gives you a significant amount of time to get to know someone before you get married. And there's some other statistics that can kind of open your eyes to this. So you'll hear people say that, over 50% of marriages end in divorce. And that statistic is misleading because that includes second marriages, third marriages, fourth marriages, and so on. So after you're divorced once, your risk of or chance of divorce goes up and up and up with each successive marriage. So when you include all marriages in the divorce statistics, it makes the percentage above 50%. The percentage of first marriages that end in divorce is not that high, or not as high as the 50% or higher number. If you can focus and agree on these things before you get married, you have I think less than 10% chance of getting divorced, or said otherwise, over a 90% chance of success. So that is agreement on children, how many children to have and how to raise them, in-laws, your relationship with them and how to deal with them, finances, managing money. Money and money fights are the number one cause of divorce. And let's see, finances, in-laws, children, and religion. I don't know if I said religion. Yeah, so religion would be the last one. Agree on faith practice together. So those four things in agreement will give you over a 90% chance of success in marriage. Something else sometimes you'll hear people say is, why do I need to sign a piece of paper to prove that I love someone? And will think that they don't need to get married. They'll cite the courts or laws being biased against them, and cite bad experiences of other people. One thing to consider is that the reason you take a vow in front of your family and friends and in front of a official, so either a priest or pastor or even a justice of the peace, is that something of such a high commitment and something that's so hard really demands that you make that declaration in front of not just your spouse, but in front of the whole community to a certain degree. So you're pledging to be committed to this person, because it's not easy. So there's a reason for that public commitment, for signing a piece of paper, because it's a big deal. So don't forget that and don't take it lightly. Pre-marriage counseling, I believe you'll see the statistics on that are pretty good that, it's a good idea to do that. Your mom and I didn't do that, but we did a lot of talking beforehand, and we dated for almost 4 years before we got married. So wouldn't go much longer than that before getting married. You should definitely know by then. But that's off the top of my head what I got right now, and we'll talk more later. Love you. Bye.